A traditional litter box is such a pain. I can tell you from first-hand experience after owning a cat for about a week. Meet Bella. She's my wife's 15-year-old pride and joy that we brought back from Ontario, and we're just getting her acclimatized to her new environment. However, being that my wife is pregnant, she can't always change the litter. So that falls on me. And as much as I love our new furry feline, I hate changing the litter. After mentioning my woes online, the good folks at PetSnowy had a solution for me. This is the PetSnowy Snow Plus self-cleaning litter box, and it has changed my life. It's an automated smart litter box that not only cleans the litter after every visit, it also deodorizes the vicinity so you never have to worry about dirty litter ever again. I'm going to be sharing my experience with the litter box in this video. I'll go through all of its ins and outs and what I like and what I don't like about it so that you can decide if it's something for you and your feisty feline. And hey, if you decide to grab it, I got the best prices on Amazon in the description down below, as well as a link and any corresponding coupon codes from PetSnowy's actual direct website. So you have the best options available to you. Now, just because PetSnowy sent this out to me doesn't mean I'm going to overlook some of the negative things about this unit. I'll be completely transparent, but the overall consensus between Bella and I, we both love it. First impression when receiving this device? Well, it's huge. If you're limited to space, you might want to measure first so that you have enough room to store it. That being said, I know plenty of people who were able to comfortably fit this in their apartment without any issues. I have it here in my pantry, and it's an open area which really works for me. You do have to keep it about 2 inches away from the wall, so just keep that in mind when you're thinking about placement. Out of the box, we have a massive quick setup guide, some extra waste bags, 2 deodorizers, a power adapter, and of course, the Snow Plus itself. The Snow Plus comes pretty much fully assembled and ready to go, so there isn't that much setup required. As I mentioned previously, this unit is huge, but it's gotta be in order to have enough space for your furry friend. I love the build quality of every component of the Snow Plus. It's solid plastic, but doesn't feel cheap at all. The entire unit is modular and magnetic, so it's very easy to do a deep clean if needed, and everything snaps back right into place. Let's talk about the main base unit. This is where all the important components are stored. This is the brains of the litter box, as well as the waste drawer. We also have an entrance to the litter box, which involves an anti-litter tracking walkway before getting into the actual area where your cat will do their business. This walkway is a great addition to the litter box, as the rubber mat removes any litter that sticks to your cat when they leave the litter box itself. This hallway is also important as there are built-in sensors that detect when your cat enters so that the litter box isn't in the process of cleaning when they're around. We'll touch on this a little bit more later. The waste drawer is quite easy to remove and has a great way of collecting litter. The track inside allows you to easily place your PetSnowy litter bag with pre-punched holes into the 4 pegs. Once your bag is placed, you slide the tray back in and pretty much forget it until you need to replace the bag. The best part about replacing the bag is that it is so seamless. When pulling out the tray, the mechanism will automatically close up the bag to reduce any odors. You just have to pull the tabs off and throw the full bag away. Although PetSnowy recommends using their bags, and I do agree it is much easier, you can still use your own bags. This DIY system can save you some money, and I only had to purchase some third-party clips off of Etsy to use my own bags. There are 3 main buttons on the unit, but more can be done from within the app itself, which we will talk about later. The first button runs a clean cycle. If you find for whatever reason that the automatic cleaning timers didn't completely clean out the litter box, you can use this manual button. I rarely use this though, as the PetSnowy does a great job cleaning it based on the automatic schedules I've set. The next button is if you want to dump the litter out completely and replenish the litter itself. I recommend doing this every couple of weeks. Finally, we have the reset button. If you need to top up your litter, this is the button you're going to need to use, after every top up. This is so the litter box can reset the weight of the new litter added. The Snow Plus is different from a lot of other litter boxes as the toilet is essentially a ball. This ball is quite spacious for your cat to do their business, and the way it works is simple. Once they're done, a motor will rotate the ball to dump out the waste into the litter drawer below. When the ball returns to its regular position, all the big waste particles are filtered out using the mesh screen and only clean litter returns. There's also a built-in deodorizing system that uses a combination of UV light and nanoscale semiconductor material to safely deodorize the area once your cat leaves. And don't worry, it's completely safe for your pet and only requires you to replace the filter once every couple of months. It's quite genius actually. When I first used it, the litter box was not filtering out all of the waste completely. There are two reasons why, and I'll explain that further so you don't make the same mistake. There is a rubber base inside the ball to prevent any litter from sticking. But one thing I learned is that all litter is not equal. I was using a litter I purchased from Costco previously. I did notice that this litter would end up sticking to the base even after cleaning, and those clumps would not be disposed of. This was immediately resolved after switching to a different litter type. So if you're having the same problem, it's definitely the litter that you're using. Another thing to mention is that the standard mesh filter would sometimes return some waste into the clean litter after running a cycle. This was also immediately resolved by purchasing the optional fine mesh filter from PetSnowy. Some cats may require this filter depending on the size of their waste. Not that waste. After getting the fine mesh filter and also using a different type of clumping litter, the litter box self-cleaned perfectly with little user intervention. I now only find myself having to replace the waste bag every 7 to 10 days. It will definitely depend on how frequent your cat needs to relieve themselves. Apart from that, you would have to top up your litter every now and then. The top lid is magnetic and snaps onto the litter box easily. There's a max line on the unit to tell you how much litter should be there at any given time. There's also a maximum weight of litter you shouldn't exceed when filling up. Although I've never had to worry about this, you can find this in the instruction manual. When topping up, all you have to do is drop some more litter into the box and press the R button to reset the weight. Again, this is important so that the litter box can distinguish between the weight of the unit with the litter and the weight when your cat is inside. Now the app is the best part of the Snow Plus. Having a connected litter box was not on my 2025 bingo card, but here we are, and I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. The app is so convenient to help you know when your cat is using it, as well as when you need to change the waste drawer. You can easily run a clean cycle by pressing the button in the app itself, along with the options to empty the litter completely, deodorize, and even lock the physical keys on the litter box so that they aren't accidentally pressed. You also have an overview of how many days are left of your fragrance refill, how many times your cat has used it in a day, and also the average time your cat spends inside the litter box. I'm a stats nerd, so I really appreciate this. This gives you a general idea of how often your cat is using the box, so you can chart out if this is something to be concerned about, or even display this information on your next vet visit. You can also see a work log history, and best part is that the litter box can distinguish between multiple cats based on their weight. You can set up profiles for each cat so that there are personalized notifications when each one enters. Apart from that, some advanced settings in the app allow you to further customize how the litter box performs and also gives you a lot of flexibility to automate processes. For example, you can set the auto cleaning timer to what you prefer so that the litter box waits to clean after your pet leaves. We can also customize a self-cleaning schedule and an option to prevent cleaning during do not disturb times. This also applies to deodorizing too. The Snow Plus uses what the company calls snow-safe technology. This includes a weight sensor, which we talked about earlier, to detect if your cat is anywhere near the vicinity in case it needs to self-clean. This is in combination with an anti-pinch system that prevents your cat from being trapped inside if any other sensors fail. There is also a built-in countdown timer that resets whenever the weight sensor is tripped. You also have safety notifications within the app if something needs your attention, which I think is an an excellent addition. These features are extremely important, especially if you have multiple cats. Now, there are just a few things I don't like about the Snow Plus that I feel I should mention, but the good news is that there's a solution. Every smart device always needs to improve, and these are just really small minor gripes that I hope will be introduced in a future hardware revision. The first being that the stairs or the entryway for the litter box is too steep and high. This is not an issue for most cats as they're quite agile, but older cats like Bella might have a more difficult time getting into the box due to this, and I feel like it might be a bit slippery for them. However, I was easily able to address this by using an extra step that I had from my previous litter box. This made it so much easier for Bella to enter the litter box despite her aging limbs. The only thing I would really change on this litter box would be to have some light inside when changing out the litter itself. Maybe something that'll illuminate when you lift the lid so that it's easy to look inside. Again, purchasing a light bar off of Amazon was all I really needed, and I'll link to that down below as well. Now, let me reiterate that these are just minor nuances for me and in no way are a deal breaker, and the pros far outweigh the cons. I really hope you enjoyed this review. Again, if you're looking for an automated litter box yourself, please use the Amazon links in the description down below. And if you decide to buy from PetSnowy's website, I'll be sure to link any coupon codes available at the time. I got the best prices for you, and using those links will help me make better videos for you. My name is J.I., thank you for watching, and thank you for kicking it with me.